All right, so we talked about it off the top. We're heading down the stretch. Things are getting intense. Playoff picture shaping up. So what I wanted to do is get into some of the trade deadline, impactful trades that we saw. So it got me to thinking. I'm going to bring my producer Conrad out here, and I'm going to name the top 5 most impactful trades that I believe happened this season. So Conrad?
All right, man. Let's start number 5. Jorge Solaire.
Yeah, Jorge Solaire with the Royals this year was really underperforming. I mean, hitting 192 at the Royals. He goes to the Braves. He's hitting 276. He has 10 bombs. And the Braves have gone from a team under 500 that couldn't climb over 500 to leading the division, and it looks like they're going to make the playoffs. So, look, is it the most impressive numbers in the world? No, but has he been super impactful and exactly what this team needed? Absolutely. So that's why I have him at number 5.
Number 4, Jose Barrios.
Yeah, I love what he's brought to this Blue Jays team. I always believed in this team. Their offense is their offense. It's one of the best in baseball. But what they needed was pitching. Behind Robbie Ray, friend of the podcast, nothing.
Future Cy Young winner?
Future Cy Young winner. Nothing, really. Nothing behind him. And they bring in a guy that's going to go out every 5th day. He's 5-3 with the team with a 3.39 ERA. It's exactly what they needed. Somebody to go out every single 5th day and give them a chance to win the ball game. If you have a good start on the mound with the offense they have, that's game over. And he's been great for them. So
he's there next year too, right?
And he's there for another year, which was a huge part of the trade. They gave up a lot to get him, but he is under control for another year, which is huge.
Love it. Number 3, Trey Turner.
I mean, that pickup for the Dodgers was huge. He's hitting over 300 with them. He has a bunch of stolen bases. He plays a premier position. What a great pickup. This team is going to be really good down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Yep. Number 2, that man Chris Bryant.
Yeah, I love this pickup. He's hitting over 280 with the Giants. He's got 7 bombs for them. But when I look back now at the trade deadline and look at what team needed something, this was the perfect fit. Chris Bryant grew up a Giants fan. He just seems like a Giant. Chris Bryant the Giant.
Is Chris Bryant going to be on the Giants next year?
Yeah, I think he is forever.
Oh.
I think Chris Bryant is there to stay. And you put him in the lineup, he hits almost 290 with 7 bombs. They needed just that jolt of offense in the middle of that lineup, and he has been exactly that. And this team is the best team in baseball.
All right, which comes to number 1, Max Scherzer.
Yeah, this has been nothing short of incredible. He has been nothing short of incredible. 7-0, a 0.78 ERA, 79 strikeouts, and 7 walks. A whip of 0.65. I mean, this is incredible for sure. Easy. This was easy. An easy number 1. Who has been the most impactful? He's lights out. He is lights out. He hasn't lost, and he's giving up less than a run per 9 innings. That is insane. It is the best, most impactful trade of this season. And in my opinion, this is one of the most impactful trades of all time, Conrad. I really believe that. And that kind of got me to thinking who are some of the most impactful trades of all time. I wanted to do this season, and Max's numbers got me to thinking, man, this is up there all time. So I did just that. I thought of who were some of the 5 most impactful trades of all time. So I gave you those as well.
Yeah, let's get into it. We're going to start with Randy Johnson in 1998.
Yeah, so these are in no particular order, just trades that were made at the trade deadline that guys just went on to have Max Scherzer-esque rest of the season. So Randy Johnson in 98 was 10-1, a 1.28 ERA, had 116 Ks in 84 innings. He made 11 starts for the Astros after that trade. He gave up 12 runs and 11 starts. I mean, great. Just great.
Yeah, he ended up winning quite a few Cy Youngs after that year, too.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad pitcher.
Next up, we're going to go to CC Sabathia, 2008.
Yeah, when I think about most impactful trades, this is like, for me, this is one of the ones that comes to mind. Like people don't think of CC as a Brewer. They see the Indians and Yankees.
Yep.
You don't think about that one playoff race. He went to the Brewers, and he was Incredible. He threw 130 innings in 83 days. He was there for 83 days and threw 130 innings. 7 complete games. 3 of them were complete game shutouts. What? That is mind-blowing. A 1.65 ERA with the Brewers. 7 complete games, and 3 of them were shutouts. Just incredible.
Yeah, he was tremendous. 2008, Manny Ramirez.
Yeah. So I've always known Manny Ramirez, in my opinion, is one of the best right-handed hitters of all time.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers. But what ended up happening with him his last few days in Boston was it wasn't pretty. You know, he had this weird injury thing going on. It was Manny being Manny. But then Manny goes to Hollywood, to Mannywood, as it was dubbed, as the Dodgers are going into the playoffs. What did he do? He hit 396 in 53 games. 396.
Pretty good.
Not bad. Pretty good. And then they go into the playoffs. He hits 520 in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? 520. So Manny Ramirez comes over in 2008 and he just tears the cover off the ball. 17 bombs in those 53 games, hit almost 400. I mean, nobody's been more impactful than that on the offensive side.
I would argue there was no one better to watch in baseball at that time too. Manny being Manny was one of my favorite things.
Oh my God, he's one of the best hitters of all time. But you also got a lot more than just his on. You got the off the field and in the monster antics.
Watching him play in the outfield, tremendous content.
Beautiful.
Next up, Aroldis Chapman, 2016.
Yeah, this one probably comes to mind for a lot of people. He goes over to the Cubs, and just dominates. And I think this one even more so because they went on to win the World Series, and he's such a vital part in that team's history and in that team's postseason run. But he goes over and has a 1.01 ERA, 46 Ks in 26 innings. Dominant at the back end.
Yeah.
But the reason he's here is because they went on to win the World Series, and he was on the mound that last game. It's just all of those reasons. He couldn't have been more dominant, but they also went on to win the World Series. So you can't get more impactful than that. You dominated, and your team won a World Series because of you, and then you're out. Like, you're in, you pitch great, you win a World Series, you're out. So that's why he's here.
Yep, and then you might know this last one, Justin Verlander, 2017.
Yes, Justin Verlander. I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, my brother's season in 2017, I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that trade happening. I remember that night. It was an emotional night for my family. It was not an easy night. And he had a full no trade clause. So it's kind of like, do we do this or do we not? And he ends up going there. And did pretty well. He did pretty well. He gets there as a 1.06 ERA. Now they don't have this anymore, but he was traded not in the July trade deadline, but in the waiver deadline that happens a month later. So he was actually traded at the end of August. He goes 5-0 while he's there, 34 innings pitched, 43 Ks, a 1.06 ERA. Now, the reason I wanted to do all of these was Max Scherzer got me thinking, because he's he's arguably in this conversation. It's been absurd. Max had has a 0.65 WHIP with the Dodgers. My brother's in 2017, 0.64. Explain
the significance of that.
So WHIP is walks and hits in innings pitched. So how many guys are getting on base in an inning? If I'm pitching an inning and I give up one hit in the entire inning, my WHIP is 1. One person got on base. If I give up a hit and a walk, it's a 2. So walks and hits per inning pitched. So less than a 1 is nobody getting on, a 1 is one person getting on base in the entire inning. A 0.64 is almost half of that. So players were getting on base basically once every other inning, which is absurd. So yeah, I can't have this list without having my brother on this list. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.